Well, hello and howdy do. Whoa. Isn't it a beautiful day for learning? Laughing and loving other people? Well, that's my plan today at least. Well, let's just say part of my day. You probably noticed a couple things different about me today. No, it's not a new sweater. No, I did not part my hair on a different side. I'll give you a hint. I'm standing inside of it. No, not my shoes. The basket. I'm standing inside of a basket, and do you know what this basket is connected to? Yes, that's right, a hot air balloon. Good guess. I'm in a hot air balloon because one, I've never been in one, and two, I've heard people say that you think better in a higher altitude, so I figured I'd give it a go. But first, it's time for our segment, Hot Air Balloon Fun Spectacular Facts. And a lot of you are probably wondering, hey Carl, what is the fun hot air balloon spectacular fact that you have? Which is a great question, and I'm happy to answer it. It's the part of the show where I tell you fun facts about hot air balloons in a spectacular way. And when I say spectacular way, that just means I'm going to say these facts with some fun music in the background. Ready? Let's get started. Fun fact number one. The first people to ride in a hot air balloon weren't even people. That's right, the first hot air balloon to take flight in the 18th century was ridden by a sheep, a rooster, and a duck. Isn't that wild? What do you think they talked about while they were up there? Probably talking about the geese. They're always up to no good. Anywho, fun fact number two. Apparently hot air balloons cannot fly in the rain, which is a total bummer because I was planning a hot air balloon thunderstorm watch for my birthday party. But now I have to do something else. And finally, fun fact number three. Hot air balloons have the ability to take all the fear inside your body and make it disappear. Isn't that amazing? My friend Two Toes Tommy told me that yesterday, and I believe everything he says because the man has 2 toes. A guy like that has to know what he's talking about, right?
Hey Carl, you know you have 2 toes as well, right?
I do have 2 toes? I guess I do have 2 toes.
And a lot of other people do.
A lot of other people have 2 toes? Well then why do they call him Two Toes Tommy then? I'm confused. Anyways, Tommy promised me that that was true. That if I got in a hot air balloon, all my fear would just go away. And I love that fact because you know what? Heights aren't really my thing. Well, it's time to take off and I'll touch base with you here in a minute. Y'all, I may have made a miscalculation because as you can see, I'm in a hot air balloon and I am also in the sky. And guess what? I'm scared and I need help.
Hey Carl, whoa, are you in a hot air balloon?
Yes, now please.
How cool. Did you know the first people in a hot air balloon weren't even human? It was
a sheep, a rooster, and a duck. Yes, I know. Now help me get down.
All right, just take a deep breath. How did this happen anyway?
Well, I'm wanting to discover what's up in the air more. And my friend promised me that you don't feel fear in a hot air balloon. But he was wrong.
Oh, okay. Wait, was your friend who told you that Two Toes Tommy?
Sure was. Why?
Oh, Carl. Two Toes Tommy is notorious for not telling the truth. He loves pulling pranks on people.
Are you serious?
Yep. I don't even know why we call him Two Toes Tommy. All I know is he's not someone you can really count on.
Buckets of berries! I can't believe I fell for that! You can't trust anyone who makes a promise these days.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I think there's someone you can still trust on keeping their promises.
Oh yeah? Who?
Well, let's go back to 2 Kings chapter 4.
Do we have to?
I mean, I could leave.
No, please don't go. I'll do the story with you.
Okay, well the story starts off with this woman who lived in Shunem. Now her and her husband were pretty wealthy. They had a big house.
With lots and lots of food?
Yep, and they were very fond of the prophet Elisha. So much that they had built a nice room just for him for whenever he was visiting or passing through. They had everything they could ever want, except for one thing.
A hot air balloon? They could have mine.
Nope, a child. Without one, her family legacy would end with her and her husband, who was much older. Now, Elisha wanted to return the kindness that they had shown to him. So when he had found out she wanted a child, he told her that this time next year, she would be pregnant with a son.
How cool. What was her reaction?
Well, you could tell she was excited, but also very nervous because she didn't know how it was possible. She was afraid of getting her hopes up.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I hate being disappointed.
Me too. But Elisha wasn't lying. A year had passed and she gave birth to a baby boy.
What a miracle!
But disaster struck one day. When the boy had grown a little, one day he wasn't feeling well. His family tried to make him feel better, but nothing worked, and he ended up dying.
What? Katie, I don't know if anyone told you this, but this is not the way to make someone feel better who's scared to death of being in a hot air balloon.
Hang on, Carl. The story isn't finished. Almost immediately, the mother knew what she had to do. She had to go find Elisha and ask him to bring her son back to life. So she traveled to him and told him what had happened.
What do you do? Takes you too bad, too sad, like the Two Toes Tommy's just texted me?
Nope, the opposite. He went back with the mother to their house, went into the room where the boy was, shut the door, and he began to pray. He kept praying and trusting God. He prayed and asked God to heal the boy. And the boy began to breathe once again.
Get out! He brought the boy back to life?
He sure did. The mother came in and thanked Elisha for what he had done. And guess what, Carl?
Huh.
I tell you that story not only because it's great and wonderful, but because it teaches us a very special thing. We may not be able to trust everyone, but we can always count on God's promises.
You know what, Katie? You're right. I don't know why I got so worked up earlier. I can't remember a time in my life where God's gone back on a promise or disappointed me.
Exactly. There are thousands of promises from God in the Bible and so many stories of others trusting in those promises. And there are people in our lives today, like parents and friends, who trust the promises of God and find out that they are always true.
Amen to that. High five. Oh.
Wow, I tell you what, out of all the big ideas in the universe, this one, much like a hot air balloon, is probably the most uplifting. And it's this: I can count on God's promises. So let's say it out loud on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. I can count on God's promises. Great job, kids. Now don't forget to tune in next week for the newest episode of Grow TV, okay? All right, I'll see you later. Bye.